actually a rather reserved and quiet person.
We've done the thing.
We've done the thing. We did the stuff. We've been in it and out of it and through it and all up in it.
That's a lot of doing.
Ever going to meet Fran Drescher? I'm just not. Okay.
You fucking alien.
I knew that's the
I knew that was gonna happen. I've just been waiting for it.
online
Yeah.
shuffleboard. You're gonna get your ass beat by my old cane having ass.
Just make eye contact with the family. Is like, I'm going shit on that.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to another exciting episode of Morgan and Foggy in the Coffee Lounge. This is episode 10, I believe.
This is number 10. We're finally
Number
in the
10.
double digits.
We are in the
Come on,
double
so fast.
digits. Yay!
So
Oh,
now, before long, our little podcast is gonna be a teenager. They grow so
they
quick.
grow up so fast. Oh, our podcast is so mature for its age.
Soon enough, it's gonna be 18 plus.
Yeah. Silly. For anybody who has never listened to Morgan and Foggy in the Coffee Lounge, welcome. My name is Foggy LeBeau. As always, with me is my partner in crime, my numero dos, my damn best friend, Mr. Morgan Coffee Bean.
Hi, that's me. That's me. Greetings. I am his number 2, but you know, when we were kids, he was the one who made me realize that I was into the same sex. Let's say that. But no. I guess I'm just not good enough to be the number 1, but that's fine. That's fine.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yes.
It's good.
Oh, exactly. For anybody,
I'm joking.
yeah.
I'm joking. I swear.
Like I said, if you've never listened to this, basically, what this is me and my lifelong best friend, Morgan here. We talk about anything that we want to talk about, and we do what we want.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's the whole podcast. And this week, we've got
Deal with
something very, very, very fun. Yeah, deal with it.
What you gonna do about it? Cry? Do it.
Little
We won't
baby,
know.
little baby gonna cry?
You're gonna cry about it? Do it. We like that. Make sure you send us a video.
Yeah, that's right. Oh gosh. Y'all are so funny. So we are doing this live on Twitch as well. If you guys want to catch that, you can follow us on twitch.tv/Foggy LeBeau and or /Morgan_Coffee Bean. Definitely follow us on Twitch. Follow us on X/Twitter/Zitter. And we're going to get into this.
Every time you say zitter, I have like a physical reaction to that. I'm just like, ooh.
I literally do it to like hurt you internally. I just want you to know that because I know that you hate that expression.
This is an abusive friendship.
You must not feel safe.
I don't feel safe anymore. Who knew that the 10th episode was gonna be the last? I'm joking.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope you guys are ready for this episode. I'm actually really excited about it.
Yes.
Foggy had been like telling me. So I was asking him if he knew what he was wanting to talk about this time, and he was just like, "You'll see. I just have to get a few things ready." And I was like, "Well, that's ominous. What do you mean?" And then earlier today, he asked, "Is like, hey, can we start around this time?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, of course." It's like, do I need to prepare for anything? It's like, what's the topic gonna be?
Radio
and he just
silence.
Responded, yeah, and for the longest time it was just radio silence. And then when I finally got a text from him, it was just I was like, fine. And then he called me, this call that we were on right before the stream / recording,
Mhm.
and he still wouldn't tell me.
Yeah.
He finally told me like literally 5 minutes ago, like right before we started.
Yes.
Was this?
I wanted you to be as excited as I am for it. Which I realize in hindsight doesn't actually make any sense because you would still be just as excited to do this, even if I had told you yesterday what it was.
I mean, you know what that makes me think? It makes me think that maybe like a true friend that's known me this long would have known that.
That's fair.
It's just like
That's fair.
Hashtag do better.
Yes. Okay. I will do better in the future. Don't kick me off the podcast. I need this job.
I'll forgive you this time.
Okay. So, if you've already read the title, you already know what we're doing. So we're doing the scariest urban legends from the United States, and I thought we could make this into like a few part series. So I really wanted to start off with the southeastern part of the United States because it's the part that I'm most familiar with. It's the part where I grew up. It's the part where I know the most about the folklore around. But then I also thought, how fun would it be to do like a second part where we do like the Northeast and then the Northwest and then the Southwest, and then on from there we could go on to other countries and like really get just a really cool look at like urban legends and the kind of stuff that people believe, and just to kind of like like pay homage almost to like these really cool like legends and such.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
yeah, I'm very excited about this because in comparison to a lot of other countries out there, especially like in the UK, America is huge. Like,
yes.
It is gigantic. Like, you guys, a lot of people wonder why Americans don't travel as much as other countries do. It's because, part of it anyways, is because America is big enough that you can travel from one state to another and feel like you are in a different country almost. It's so diverse here, in terms of what am I trying to say? Like terrain, landscapes and nature. Like we have winter wonderlands on one side, we have deserts in the other, we have forests,
swamps,
we have fields and plains, we have swamps, like everything. Like there's literally everything here. So you can imagine that over like all these however long America's been around, you can imagine how many legends and stories and just all these things that have kind of happened to come around. So I'm actually really excited about this because I don't honestly know that many urban legends here about America.
For sure.
So I'm going to be learning a lot about this stuff too.
Absolutely. And I wanted to just caveat on that and just kind of say like the cool thing about like urban legends, we're not just talking about cryptids, basically animals or anything like that. Like we're really getting into like straight urban legends. So like there are ones where we're gonna be talking about like, sure, there's gonna be ones where we're talking about like cryptids and like scary like beasts, if you will. But there's also gonna be ones where it's talking about like a location, or it's talking about ghosts, or it's talking about like a disease of some sort that caused something. So I'm really excited about this, and I think this is gonna make for like a really fun discussion topic.
Yeah, I think so too.
So shall we?
Let's do it. What
okay.
You got?
So like I said, we're gonna go over the Southeast. So the first one that we're gonna talk about is the Dead Children's Playground in Alabama.
Oh,
Okay,
Starting off
so
strong. Okay.
yes, so during late night hours, swings move by themselves as spirits of buried children come to play, right? So, here's the legend behind it. So during the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic, a lot of children in the Huntsville area lost their lives. Legend has it that several of these children are buried in the Maple Hill plots adjacent to the playground. Their spirits, it is said, emerge after dark to play, just as they might have in life. Visitors and passerby have reported witnessing strange occurrences at the playground. Swings moving on their own, and orbs or spectral figures have been seen. The limestone surroundings, remnants of the area's cave formations, add to the eerie ambiance. So actually, the Spanish flu really did hit Huntsville hard. It was an estimated 1,100 reported cases within days.
Oh my god.
It affected both children and adults, and it left a very, very nasty mark on the community. And so the playground's name serves as a somber reminder of the lives lost during that devastating time. While it may seem macabre, families still use this space today, blending innocence with the echoes of history. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the Dead Children's Playground remains a haunting piece of Huntsville's past, where the whispers of lost children still linger.
Wow. Man, can you imagine like being in that area when the Spanish flu hit? Like that must have been terrifying, and
right,
like not just because of the sickness, but just heartbreaking seeing that many people affected that quickly too. Like that's basically overnight.
Yes. And to also be one of the people surviving that, and you have to carry on while this tragedy happened. And especially if you're somebody who's personally affected by it, and then all of a sudden you're hearing whispers of different like apparitions and stuff happening, that's really tough.
Yeah.
So you know what, another thing that I wanted to talk about was that I had told Morgan before we started, we were going to rate these by survivability.
Yes,
so
we're gonna every one of these that we go down, how do you want to rate them?
I was thinking kind of like a tier list of survivability. If you want to do any other tier lists, I think that we will have to kind of play that by ear. But as of I thought survivability would be very fun, because there are ones where it's like, oh yeah, we could okay, you know what? Let's do this one. So how likely do you think you would be to survive the Dead Children's Playground?
I'd say very likely, because nothing that I've heard so far says anything about them being violent or aggressive. It's just kids playing on a playground like they would have in life.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they're sad they didn't actually get to grow up and actually have their time that was stolen from them by this plague. So
I think my answer changes depending upon what time it is, because if it's 1918, I think survivability goes down a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, because that's when the Spanish flu pandemic was happening.
I see. Oh, so if you're there during
the actual event of the Spanish flu spreading from one person to another, the survivability, and at the time they didn't have a cure for the Spanish flu, so, or what's the word? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't have an inoculation for against it. So it depends on the time, but obviously, if I'm going there now, I'm putting it in S tier that we survive. Yeah, we're gonna survive. Nothing's gonna happen to us. It's all good.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I will also say we the survivability factor is also it's implied that what is happening is true. Okay, so whether or not it's surrounded by myth or like depending upon how, let's just say, outlandish the myth is, or the urban legend rather is, it doesn't matter. We are implying that it is true, and so how would we survive if this urban legend was true? I want to be 100% crystal clear on that.
Yes.
Okay, so moving on.
Yeah.
All right.
So like in a tier list format, so like say D, C, B, A, and S.
Yeah.
Where would you put that?
I'm gonna put it in S, honestly, because we're talking about S being the most survivable, and I guess technically F being the most like we're not surviving at all. Or no, yes. D, because D is dead. So yeah, we'll go A, B, C, D.
D for dead. There you go.
D for dead. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going with S here. I think S for survive, D for dead, right?
Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah,
that actually works out really good.
That works very well. I'm very surprised that worked out that way. So I wish I had a pen. I would write this down. Do you have anything to write that down?
I am actually creating a tier list as we speak.
You are amazing. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to the next one, okay?
Let's do it.
Okay. So we've done Dead Children's Playground. Alabama, you're gone. You're out of here. We are moving on over to Florida. Okay.
Oh, no. D tier.
Already, just because it's in Florida, yeah. So this one is called the Devil's Chair. Okay.
Ooh.
In Casadaga, I may have butchered that. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but in Casadaga, Florida, there exists a mysterious and eerie spot known as the Devil's Chair. This graveside bench, located in the Lake Helen Casadaga Cemetery, has become the stuff of local legends and ghostly tales. The unopened beer can ritual. So basically, according to one local legend, if you leave an unopened can of beer on the chair overnight, it will undergo a peculiar transformation. Some accounts claim that the can is completely empty by morning, while others suggest that it remains unopened but mysteriously drained. The chair seems to have a supernatural appetite for beer. The other thing is the devil's appearance. In more chilling versions of the legend, it is said that anyone bold enough to sit in the devil's chair may encounter the devil himself. Imagine sitting there under the moonlight, wondering if something otherworldly might manifest. Oof. Number 3, Casadaga Psychic Center of the World. So, apparently, Casadaga is often called the Psychic Center of the World. The town is home to the haunted Casadaga Cemetery, where this infamous chair resides. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, the Devil's Chair invites curiosity and spine-tingling experiences. So, if you ever find yourself near Casadaga, consider paying a visit to this eerie bench, but beware, some mysteries are best left untouched.
Okay, so just to make sure I understand this properly, there is a chair in or like a graveside stone chair where in Casadaga, where you can go and sit, and it's rumored that if you sit there like on some kind of what was it, Halloween or
it just says overnight.
Okay, gotcha. So you can sit there and then basically make a deal with the devil or communicate with the devil,
apparently.
Gotcha.
So yeah, there's a ritual. The devil likes beer. Interesting. And then like the devil may actually appear to you if you're sitting in the chair. So like in the moonlight. How do you feel about that?
I feel like the beer is a greater threat.
Yeah.
Honestly, the fact that it's in Florida probably means it's true. So, okay, all jokes aside,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel that's a really really cool legend. First of all, like if I were there, I would absolutely do this.
Yeah, for sure.
I am that white person who gets killed in the first 5 minutes of a horror movie. I'm not sorry about it because, hey, at least I tried.
You were the one who reads from the book made of human skin. I know you, and written in blood.
It was like, ooh, what's that? Oh, these guys are creative. What shade of red is that?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. If I were there, I would absolutely try this out, just to, at least to say that I did it. But if something were to happen and I were able to communicate with the devil, I would have some questions. It's like, hey, I've heard a lot about you. How's it going? My parents told me not to talk to strangers, but I've learned about you my whole life, so I feel like we know each other pretty well.
Yeah. You have a surprisingly low body count for, being the villain of your story.
Body count. I know. Have you seen Lil Nas X's video?
No.
Have you not actually? Oh, he basically gives him the devil a lap dance.
Oh, great. Nice. Awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. What about you? I would rank this pretty high in survivability.
Oh man. Yeah, oh yeah. Easily. If the devil's actually appearing, it didn't say anything about him being a threat or like actually attacking or anything. So yeah, I'm gonna put you know what, but I'm not sure though. I'm not sure if the devil's going to be nice or if he's gonna be what a lot of people think the devil is. So I'm gonna go ahead and say A tier.
Okay, I'd say that's fair. I would agree with that because you never know. You never know. This is why horror movies exist. Horror movies are basically wiki articles on what not to do.
Yeah, for real. Okay, awesome. So we were putting that in A tier, the Devil's Chair. Go check out the Devil's Chair, and if you guys are ever in Florida.
Yeah, but also if you're ever in Florida, good luck.
Also true.
Is Florida Man on this list?
Florida Man is not on this list.
No,
so we are actually
they're basically an urban legend at this point. Like they're their own species because there's not just one Florida Man. It's like they're like mermaids.
For sure.
They just show up out of nowhere.
Showing up, just chest out, short shorts, mullet in the wind, and ready to rock. Yeah. Okay. So we are moving up a state. We're going to Georgia. So Georgia. We love Georgia. I love Georgia. So the Cursed Pillar is the name of this urban legend. The Cursed Pillar is in Augusta, Georgia. It's a fascinating and eerie urban legend that has captured the imaginations of locals and visitors alike. The Cursed Pillar was once part of the old Lower Market, which stood in the middle of Broad Street in Augusta. According to the local legend, an evangelist wanted to preach next to the pillar but was forbidden by the authorities. In response, the evangelist placed a curse upon the pillar, declaring that the entire market would be destroyed, leaving only the pillar standing. The curse took an unexpected turn when a freak tornado swept through Augusta, destroying the market as predicted. But the story didn't end there. Anyone who attempted to move or destroy the pillar faced dire consequences. Highway workers were reportedly struck by thunderbolts or crushed by machinery when they tried to move the pillar. Some accounts even claim that touching the pillar would lead to immediate death.
Oh my god.
The pillar, made of cement-covered brick and stained with age, stands alone on a busy street corner. Despite its crackled and chipped appearance, people continue to interact with it daily. Visitors from all over come to take pictures, while locals remain both fascinated and skeptical.
Wow. Okay, see, now we're getting into like the meaty ones where there's actual like evidence and history of bad things happening.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How cool do you feel like that evangelist felt like he was once he puts a curse on the marketplace, and then immediately a tornado comes through and destroys the town?
Yeah, for real.
That is tough.
I mean, the first thought I had when you were telling the story was, isn't it witchcraft? Don't you have to be a witch to be able to cast curses? You know? This is a man of God? A man of God who is casting curses?
A man of God.
A man of God.
Yes.
Okay, but, you know, cool to him, you know, like... Okay. You do you, bud.
So where do you think the cursed pillar goes on the old survivable list? Assuming that the legend is real.
Mm-hmm. If this is real, I would not. Well, I would not survive this most likely because there's such a long history of bad things happening to people who have touched it, or people who have tried to touch it, just getting struck by lightning. I mean that's pretty cool. But I mean that's tragic, but it's also kind of cool.
Well,
in like a morbid kind of way, I guess.
Well, to be fair, the only people who are touching the pillar and are the ones trying to move it or destroy it or break it down. Those are the only people who are actually getting struck by thunderbolts and crushed by machinery. Although there are some accounts that claim that just touching the pillar would lead to immediate death.
Right.
I choose to believe that the only people, because if you really look at the terms of the curse or whatever you want to call it, it's that the pillar would be left standing. Like anybody who attempts to move or destroy it are the ones who face consequences.
Right.
So
okay, yeah, that's a good point.
So I'm going to say S tier for me because I'm not going to try to destroy the pillar in the first place. I don't have those tools or that.
Yeah.
I don't want to put in the work. I'm too damn tired.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess I would agree with that. If I did have the tools, I would probably try just to see what happened. But yeah, because I don't have those tools, I would also put it in S tier, so I can't move it or destroy it. But I'm still gonna touch it.
Well, okay then. I mean,
I want to poke you. I want to see what happens. Like, oh no, what are you gonna do? End me? Oh no,
yes.
Don't do that. Not in today's economy.
No, not like this. All right.
Okay.
So
we'll
yeah,
put that up in S tier.
I'm definitely putting that in S tier for sure. All right. So now we are getting into one that I know very well. I don't even need a list for this one. I can do this one off of memory. We are going down to my home state of Southern Louisiana, out there in the swamps.
Swamps?
Out there in the swamps.
Swamp schmoop lives?
That is the second scariest. We're talking about the scariest.
That's D tier. That's D tier in survivability.
Yeah, it is. You are
encounter with a swamp smoop.
Oh, it's a wrap.
Just lay down.
It's a wrap.
Just
you
lay
might
down and
just kiss your ass goodbye. Just kiss your ass goodbye. We are going over the Rougarou.
Rougarou. Okay,
yes.
I've heard a lot about this, but I don't know much about it.
Yes. So, the Rougarou actually dates back much further than American history. Is actually from European history. Although the name has changed a little bit. It used to be called the Loup-garou. But it's in Cajun folklore, it's called the Rougarou. Now the Rougarou, in different places in Louisiana, they're gonna say it's different things, but the consensus is basically the same. Okay. So the Rougarou is either considered a wicked spirit or an actual werewolf-like being.
Okay.
Yes. So, the Rougarou can possess and has a lot of different powers, if you will. Think of them like a giant werewolf. But the difference between a werewolf and a Rougarou is that a Rougarou can retain its humanity. It still thinks like a human as opposed to just being like a feral animal.
Gotcha. Okay.
They walk up on hind legs, if I recall correctly. Very human-esque. And basically, this folklore comes from basically Cajun parents would tell the story of the Rougarou to young Cajun boys and girls who would not be basically to scare kids, onto the right path. They would
good, or the Rougarou is gonna come and get you.
Exactly that. Exactly that. More specifically, it was around Mardi Gras time.
What?
So Mardi Gras is a very ancient. I don't like saying ancient because Louisiana is not ancient, at least not as like for Cajuns. But Mardi Gras goes back very far, and people who would partake in Mardi Gras would also have to partake in 30 days of Lent. If they were Catholic, of course. Mardi Gras is not today what it used to be. But 30 days, basically, you have to give up those vices, essentially, that you would partake in. For instance, like a lot of the time for Lent, my father would give up smoking for 30 days. Like, he wouldn't smoke. But during Mardi Gras, he would smoke a lot. Like, he would get a few packs of cigarettes and smoke them all before he had to do Lent.
Oh, okay.
I know that sounds so silly, but that's what it was for. Like, Mardi Gras is for like partaking in excess. And then whatever you do, you give it up.
Gotcha.
So for those boys and girls who did not stay essentially on the straight and narrow path, they would tell them that the Rougarou was going to get them. And that's basically where the urban legend comes from. And the Rougarou would either kill you or it would transform you into a Rougarou.
Gotcha. Didn't it? Because the more you tell me about this, the more I remember you, but like other things that you have told me about the Rougarou. Isn't it? You have to break, Lent like a few years in a row to be cursed, or is it just like a one and done thing? Like you break it once and that's it. It might depend on where you are.
I think
in
it's
Louisiana, though.
Yeah, I think it's 7 years in a row. If I recall correctly. I think, yeah, I mean, and that does change depending on where you're at in Louisiana. Some people will say it only takes one time. But the Rougarou is really thought of like, you could almost say like a boogeyman of sorts in southern Louisiana. And like I said, like there are some places in Louisiana where they'll say the Rougarou is like a straight up werewolf, an animal that'll, find you and kill you. Others will say it's like a wicked spirit, like it's not essentially corporeal. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah. Like physical, like flesh and blood.
Yeah, it's not like flesh and blood. Like it looks like a wolf, but it's not actually. It's a wicked spirit. So
Gotcha.
So yeah, absolutely.
Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So survivability, what you think?
Okay. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to be Cajun for this thing to come and get you, or do you have to be participating in Lent for this to come after you, like for this to be a threat?
That is an excellent question. So I think that I think that's a really good question, because I don't know. I don't know what the terms are,
Okay.
I don't know what the terms are. I hope that he doesn't just get to attack anybody he wants to. Because obviously if you come across the Rougarou in a swamp, like say you're just like out there in the swamp just chilling, and like you're fishing or something, and you just so happen to hear like a roar, and then like all of a sudden it's there. Is it gonna try to kill you? I don't know.
Probably.
I'd have to see what the rules are. You know what I mean? Like, is the Rougarou bound by a set of rules? I don't even know that. I truly don't. I would have to do more research in that. If it's not, I gotta put my shit at a D. I'm definitely dead.
Actually, okay.
Because I don't have any silver weapons. I don't have any type of anything to fight it.
Okay, here's something. It says that the common narratives about the Rougarou include being cursed, often as a punishment for breaking Lent 7 years in a row, or engaging in other specific social or moral transgressions. It does say that in other legends and stories that the condition can just be spread through bites or scratches, kind of like the werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
So it says in some cases, it's like you said, it depends on where in Louisiana you are. Sometimes it is just like a wild animal. And then in others, it is specifically like it's a guardian of a ritual of Lent.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like some places will say like it's like a wicked spirit. So here's what I'm gonna say. Dependent upon which one it is. So if it's a wild animal that you just come across and it possibly, like if it sees you and like you are like fair game, I'm putting it at a D.
We did.
Yeah. If it's a wicked spirit that's bound by a set of rules, I'm not Catholic, so I think that we might actually be able to take it at an S.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like the Rougarou is more closely tied to Lent than not.
Yeah.
So I would put that at an S tier then, because like you said, I'm also not Catholic. I'm not Cajun. That's not part of any like traditions or culture that I'm a part of.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have anything to worry about there. But would you?
Well, like I was even told as a kid, like you better straighten up or the Rougarou's gonna get you. And it was one of those things where it's like, okay, well, we can't be out at night or the Rougarou's gonna get us. And they kind of just used it as just an all around don't be bad thing. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and say, because I'm Cajun, because I lived in Louisiana, yes, it affects me. So
okay, no,
I'm
that's
putting myself at a D for this one.
All right, Foggy gets the
sure.
D.
I get the D. Yay. Okay.
Yay. Yeah.
Okay. So we're moving on.
All
right. So this one is going to be real. I know you're going to like this one. This one is called Mercritus. Okay. Mercritus. And it takes place in Mississippi. All right, so we're moving over to Mississippi now. So, in the 1950s, a strange disease called mercritis supposedly swept through Mississippi, but there's no official record of the outbreak. According to locals, the illness was covered up and ignored by the government and medical community.
Oh.
Reports differ on where exactly mercritis came from. Some people say it came from Europe, while others claim it can only be contracted by consuming large quantities of paint. Okay. But the end results were rumored to be the same. It made men omit an odor, okay, which when inhaled by a beautiful woman would make them that's an interesting term. Would make them violently homicidal.
Oh.
It even caused riots that were swept under the rug. Okay, so let me see. So the story is about a disease.
Get to determine who's beautiful.
So the story is about a disease, supposedly a horrible outbreak, which wrecked most of Mississippi, right? Mm-hmm. And it was covered up by the government and the medical community. If a man ingested too much lead, he would produce a smell that would cause a hormonal reaction into, quote, beautiful women who would descend into mad homicidal fits.
Interesting. Okay, so it's the women who are going into homicidal fits.
Yes. So
gotcha.
Mercritis. Interesting.
The first thing my brain goes to is mercritis is a made-up illness that a woman created to get away with murdering her husband because he was an abusive douchebag. It's like, oh, I couldn't help it. No, he was beating me and all this stuff. Yes, but like he didn't mean it. It was I loved him. I was a good wife. It was the mercritis that made me do it.
Yeah. All that lead he was consuming.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
But girl boss move, I guess.
Yeah. You go, girl. Yeah. Interesting. This one was a little odd to me. Because it's very, very strange that they would say, like, specifically it had to be, like, how would the disease know that it was beautiful women?
Yeah.
Or is it just all women in general? Because, like, if it's just all women in general, it still doesn't really make sense, but it kind of makes sense a little bit.
I mean, I guess if it said all women, then I guess so.
You see what I'm saying, though? Like, if it's all women, that kind of makes it a bit more believable. A bit, not anything crazy.
It's just the adjective of beautiful that they use.
Right.
It's just okay. So I don't know. Do you think that we should go with all women or just beautiful women?
Well, I think we have to go with beautiful women because the thing is that's one of the terms.
That is what it says
of the thing.
That's true. Yeah. We have to go with beautiful women. Yeah.
Okay. So mine's a D then.
You are with Sil, so
I'm with Sylvie. She's a beautiful woman, and I'm sitting here eating paint chips for some reason.
She comes home one day.
Sylvie goes into
she looks
box.
around the room. Starts looking around the the house where he's like, Foggy, where are you? Foggy, I'm home. And she goes into your office and it's dark. And she opens the door and the light spills in from outside and you're huddled in a corner looking like a caveman, just eating
shoveling
paint.
Handfuls of paint into my mouth.
She's like, Shalana, beautiful woman.
Sylvie just like immediately is like, like just starts like goes off, kills me with a lightsaber.
With a lightsaber. Okay. What is the transformation of Sylvana turning in? Like, what does her transformation look like? Like, I feel like there has to be some kind of like snap, like some kind of like dramatic anime snap before she goes all sicko mode.
Yes. Eyes turn red. Tails puff up.
I don't know. See, I may be gay, but I do agree that I think all women are beautiful.
Very true. Very true.
I feel like
just start hissing.
You, my friend, are dead.
I'm dead. I know I'm dead for sure.
I think that the gay might help me, but you, sorry, but you're
I am
bones.
so dead.
You're deceased.
I am so dead. Yeah, I know it. I know I was too. I was like, man, back away from the paint chips.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. That is hilarious. Okay.
I love that. Interesting. Not what I expected.
No, but very, very fun nonetheless.
It is fun. Yeah.
All right. So. All right. So we're moving on to the next one. Okay. This one's going to be good. You're going to like this one. So this one is called The Vampire Beast of Bladenboro. It's in North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so gruesome deaths in the 1950s of mutilated livestock and dogs drained of blood led to reports of something vaguely feline and huge living near Bladenboro. Okay, the story begins in Bladen County in the town of Clarkton in December 29th, 1953. A local woman heard her neighbor's dogs barking and whimpering. When she went out to investigate, she saw a large cat-like creature skulk off into the darkness. That was the first sighting of the beast. 2 days later, the creature would strike. On New Year's Eve, Bladenboro Police Chief Roy Flores was called out to the farm of Woody Storm. 2 of Storm's dogs had been killed by something large and powerful. The poor dogs' bodies had been completely drained of blood. Yada yada yada. More reports started coming in. Somebody said he watched from his service station as a dog was attacked by a large creature and dragged into the woods. People said they saw an animal that was like a bear or a panther or something. 3 feet long, 20 inches high with a long tail and a cat's face. Others reported hearing the creature's scream coming from the swamps near the town, saying it sounded like a woman with a knife stuck in her back.
Oh. You hear a lot of those?
Apparently so, I guess. I didn't know that people knew what that sounded like.
That's very specific.
Let's see. On January 5th, this is interesting. So here's an actual news article from the time.
Oh.
Listen to this. January 5th, a large marauding cat that has killed and sucked the blood of at least 7 dogs charged a woman here tonight, but turned and fled back into a swamp when she screamed and her husband rushed onto the scene. Police Chief Roy, I guess that's Forbes, not Forbes. Police Chief Roy Forbes said the animal charged into the yard of Mrs. C.E. Kinlaw when she went out onto her front porch to investigate whimpering dogs in the street. After the incident occurred, the armed posse that went out tonight to track down and kill the vampire swelled to some 500 people.
Oh my God.
And scores of dogs. Mrs. Kinlaw, who lives in the mill near Bladenboro Mills on Highway 211, 1 mile west of here, said she heard the dogs whimpering early tonight and went to investigate. Near the dogs, she said, was what looked like a big mountain lion. It raced from 3 doors down to the dirt street in front of her, to a few feet from her porch, then turned back when she screamed and her husband rushed out of the house. A neighbor also came to her aid. Forbes said tracks in the dirt road in front of the Kinlaw home were bigger than a silver dollar. A search party from Wilmington was which tracked the animal last night as it moved in a 3-mile circle along the edges of swampy areas, found tracks which revealed claws. And that's the end of the article right there.
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay. That is really interesting. Wow, 500 people
went out to hunt
go and find this thing.
The vampire beast. Interesting.
I've never heard of this creature before.
Me neither. This is a first for me.
Cat.
Yeah, a vampire mountain lion from the looks of it.
Yeah.
But the thing that's interesting to me, like I would have just said, okay, well it's a mountain lion. But the dogs that were killed were completely drained of blood. Completely?
Yeah, that's the thing that's getting me too. Because if it was just like if they hadn't included that, I would just say it's just
a big cat,
kind of mountain lion, a bobcat, or something that's just hunting.
Right.
But the fact that they're drained of blood is really strange.
Yeah. That's really, really, really something. I was like, oh man, like this one's probably the most believable one so far to me.
Yeah, like this isn't so like this.
It doesn't seem so outlandish.
Any form of like this doesn't seem like it requires any amount of superstition or kind of faith or belief. Yeah. Like this just sounds like a creature.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
So. All right. What do you think?
Oh boy. Okay, so let's say that this is real and it is like an actual vampire beast, like a vampire mountain lion. What would that be in? Do you think you would survive this?
I think I would survive it. And the reason I think that is because it seems that the beast is scared of numerous people. So if me and you are there together, I say S tier.
Yeah. I feel like so I've heard you scream before, so I feel like you could match that kind of woman scream.
For sure. I could screech with the best of them.
Yeah. Now you are a bird after all, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it was both of us, do you think you'd be scared of just 2 people?
Maybe. Look, I'm gonna say it like this though. If I am alone, I actually am gonna put myself in a C, because there's no rules saying that it can't die to normal weapons. So I'm gonna say I have a chance to survive. I'm giving myself a C. I'm putting myself at C. If we're together, I think that our survival chances are much higher. I would even venture to say I think it would be an S. But if I'm by myself, I'm putting myself at a C.
No, I'd say that's very fair because this is an actual flesh and blood creature, as opposed to something like, say, the Rougarou, which is
much
like
more
some kind of like supernatural beast that is rooted specifically with a ritual, like with the tradition, you know, in Louisiana.
Yes.
I would say that out of everything deadly so far, this would actually be a bit more manageable. So I'd say like a C is fair, because even if you are by yourself and you have a weapon, like say a gun or something to defend yourself with, you could still possibly take this thing down and survive.
I agree, 100%. I'm with it.
Cool.
I'm with it.
I'll put that in the C. And I, if you would like, once this is actually done, I'll send you the tier list.
Awesome. Okay. Just wanted to say really quickly, hey, thanks for all the raids, guys, and thank you for everybody who's come in. We're having a really good time. We're still doing a live recording here for Spotify. Welcome in.
Yeah, welcome in, guys. It's really good to see you.
All right. All right. So back to it then. Okay. We are moving on to the good old state of South Carolina, man.
Oh no, not South Carolina.
South Carolina, man. Okay. So this one is Boo Hags.
Boo Hags.
Boo Hags. BOO Hags. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now, Gula folklore. I don't know if I'm saying that right either. I may be butchering that, but it says Gula. Folklore tells us about evil souls who stay behind after death and become skinless, vampire-like witches who take other people's skin for a ride. Okay.
Right.
So,
that's interesting verbiage.
Yes, and it is in quotes. Like ride, the term ride is in quotes. So in the low country of South Carolina, a fascinating and eerie legend surrounds the Gula people. I think that's how it's pronounced. Who have a rich African heritage. This legend speaks of the Boo Hag, a creature that will send shivers down your spine. According to Gula folklore, a person possesses both a spirit and a soul. When someone passes away, their spirit ascends to heaven if it's good, but if it's malevolent, it lingers and transforms into a Boo Hag. These spectral beings are not to be trifled with. Here's how the Boo Hag operates. Number 1, stealthy intrusion. The Boo Hag slips into your home and through the tiniest cracks while you sleep. And you won't even know it's there. Number 2.
Okay, great.
Number 2, it's an air thief. Once inside, it perches on your chest, siphoning the very air from your lungs, but that's not the worst part. Number 3, life drain. The Boo Hag doesn't stop at air theft. It infiltrates your skin, using your body as its vessel throughout the night, only departing at dawn. Number 4, memory wipe. If a Boo Hag visits you during slumber, you'll wake up exhausted with no recollection of its presence. But fear not. The Gula people have devised clever ways to ward off these energy-sucking fiends. And number 1 is obsessive counting. Boo Hags are fixated on numbers. Place a broom, hairbrush, or even a kitchen colander near your bed. They'll be compelled to count every straw, hair, or hole, distracting them from their malevolent intentions. So the next time you're in South Carolina, keep an eye out for these otherworldly beings. Whether steeped in folklore or based on actual encounters, the Boo Hag remains a chilling part of Gula culture. That one is fun!
That's a really... So they are spectral... They're basically spirits who have turned evil. Or they are evil spirits that have stayed behind, and they steal your body for the night.
Yeah.
Okay, this one... I've heard parts of this one.
I've heard different cultures tell this story different ways with different creatures. This is really interesting to me.
Yeah, like I've heard the story or the legend of like the hag that sits on your chest and makes it hard to breathe. Like that's a very, very common sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis demons. Yes.
Yeah. That sounds like this Boo Hag sounds like that, but like turned up to 11. Like they don't just sit on your chest and make it hard to breathe. They steal your breath and then they steal your skin. Wow.
This one was really, really cool to read. I honestly was so blown away by the lore, and you can feel like the you can feel like the roots of like African culture in it. And I really love that. Like, it's so cool. It's so cool because I don't know if you know, like if you've done any studies about like folklore over in Africa, but they have some really cool stories and really cool legends. and this one feels like that. It's very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool.
No, that's awesome. I don't know. Okay, so are there any? I sent you a picture of the boo hag. It's freaky.
Let me look.
But like there's a picture of it because it's skinless.
Mm-hmm.
Like it described it as skinless. So the picture I found is the boo hag
Oh!
actually like stepping into another person's skin, like that's putting on like a suit.
Oh no! What? Smash.
You know, you're going to D tier, but I don't know if this thing can kill, but if it does, you deserve it.
I'm
Actually,
just
can
playing.
it kill?
It doesn't say anything about oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. So listen to this. This is another article I found. So apparently, well, and we kind of already have gone over this. Boo hags are very similar to vampires, but instead of sucking a victim's blood, they suck out their energy.
Okay, energy vampires. We've heard about those before.
Energy vampires, yeah. Interesting. Wow, this one was really, really cool.
That is really cool because it says that it returns your body like to your home and it
Right.
swipes your memory so you don't remember it, so you wake up tired.
Exactly.
Because it wants skin to go and do things. So who knows what it's doing with your skin, but it returns it to your bed at least. So that's thoughtful.
Yeah, by that logic, I'm thinking S. Feels pretty. It feels pretty survivable. Like even if they go like, unless the boo hag is like dropping you off a cliff or something. If they're returning you to where you were every night or whatever it is, like it seems like even though it may not be an enjoyable experience, it's a survivable one.
Yeah, I would actually put it at A tier. And the only reason for that is because you don't have any control over what it does with your body. So it could get you into a very like a fatal situation.
Right.
But also like there are ways to actually ward it off, like with the number thing.
Yeah. Actually, no, I do agree with that. I agree with that. I'll put it in A tier as well because that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll put the boo hag in A. I really wanted an excuse to put it in B just because B for boo hag, but you know that's
yeah. This was
that's creepy. I really like that one though. That's cool. I hate that picture though. I kind of love it too.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. This one, I know you, and you are not going to like this one.
Okay. Uh-oh.
All right. So this one is called, oh, I'm sorry. Let me also first say, we are headed now to Tennessee.
Oh no.
So this one is called Skinned Tom.
Skinned Tom.
Skinned
Okay.
Tom. So Skinned Tom, decades ago in Wallen, Tennessee, a young man named Tom was living the dream. Handsome, witty, and charming, he caught the attention of many ladies in town. Tom was a classic playboy, never content with just one woman. His womanizing ways led him to break hearts all around. However, everything changed when he met a gorgeous woman named Eleanor from a neighboring town. Eleanor was Tom's dream girl, except for one unfortunate detail: she was already married. Tom didn't mind the forbidden affair, and they carried on secretly, meeting near Lover's Lane. But Eleanor's husband discovered their tryst. Consumed by rage and jealousy, he confronted Tom. In a fit of vengeance, he dragged Tom out of the car and skinned him alive with a hunting knife.
Ooh.
The gruesome act left Tom a bloody skeleton, forever haunting the very Lover's Lane where he met his fate. So, in death, Tom's mission is clear: to prevent others from making the same mistakes he did in life. His spectral form still roams Lover's Lane, holding the same hunting knife that stripped his skin away. Young adults seeking secret liaisons are met with his terrifying presence. A cautionary reminder about adultery. So next time you find yourself near Lover's Lane in Tennessee, beware of Skinned Tom. His ghostly vigilance serves as a chilling reminder that some sins have dire consequences, even beyond the grave.
Wow. So basically, this is the story of a cheater who was skinned alive because he got caught, and then in the afterlife he was like, "Yeah, no, you're right. That's my bad. Let me
learned.
Let me carry the torch, or in this case, the knife, and I will continue your noble work. I will make others see the light as you have made me see the light." Wow. Okay, so he targets couples who cheat.
Yes. Yes, he does.
Wow. Okay. I mean, if that's a true story about this guy actually being skinned alive, that
is
awful.
tough. If that was it says it's an urban legend. Obviously, like the way that it was wrote was obviously in a story format. So I don't think it was based upon any type of real like thing. But if it was, that is tough.
Man.
Oh, yuck.
All right then. Yeah, that's pretty gruesome. I don't know. Okay, so for me personally, I would put that at an S because, well, I mean, first of all, I'm single, so I don't have anybody to cheat on. But even if I did, like, I that's just disgusting. Like, I never thought there's any like excuse to cheat.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I've never been a cheater, never will be a cheater, and at the moment I'm also single, so can't. So that's an S tier for me.
It's got to be S tier for me too. I would never cheat on Sylvie in a million years, and she's the best thing that ever happened to me. So Skin Tom can get fucked.
If only we had an F tier.
Yeah, absolutely. S tier survivability.
Yay! S
Hooray.
tier skinned Tom for S tier. S for skinned.
S for skin.
Skinned tier.
Oh, I take it back. You're gonna hate this. I think this one might be your most hated one.
Okay. Let me have it.
The name of this one, we're moving over to Texas. Now,
the great state of Texas.
The great state of Texas, man. I do know that Texas is not technically a southern state. Texas doesn't like to be called the South. They like to be called Texas. But I'm adding them in here anyways because they're not really part of the West either.
Yeah, I mean, geographically, they are south.
Yeah. So we're putting Texas in there. So this one is the Candy Lady.
Ooh.
Okay. So candy left out on the windowsill is meant to lure out children so a spectral woman can pull out their teeth, kidnap them, or stab them in the eyes. This story may have been linked to a real person named Clara Crane who killed her husband by poisoning candy and was later released from an institution. Okay. So, yes, Clara Crane was a real person, Morgan, who was born in 1871 in the sleepy town of Terrell, Texas. Her husband, Leonard Gilbert Crane, was a farmer. Tragically, their little girl, Marcella, died in a field accident when she was just 5 years old. Clara blamed Leonard, especially after discovering he had been drinking at the time of the tragedy. 2 years later, still consumed by grief, Clara sought revenge. She laced her husband's favorite candy, caramels, with poison and offered them to him. Leonard died after consuming the lethal treat. The next day, a neighbor found Clara in a shaken and frenzied state and called the county sheriff. Clara was taken into custody and placed on trial for first-degree murder. Instead of life in prison, she was incarcerated in the North Texas Lunatic Asylum. now known as Terrell State Hospital. That's still a place. It's still a place.
This up real quick.
Terrell,
what was the name of it?
Terrell State Hospital. Is that place still up and running? Please tell me that's a no.
Terrell State Hospital?
State Hospital in Texas.
In Texas. Okay, let's see here. Terrell State Hospital. It is. I'm looking at their phone number right now.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Wait, 1 second. Okay. Terrell.
Okay. While you are looking at that, just hear me read this. You ready?
Okay.
Oh my gosh. So, she was released in 1899 due to overcrowding. This is when Clara's legend began. In 1903, children started vanishing near the old Crane property. Candy wrappers signed by the Candy Lady appeared on their windowsills. The local sheriff also disappeared, his body later found with candy stuffed pockets and forks stabbed into his eyes. Rotten teeth, likely from children, were discovered in a field. Whether Clara Crane truly became the Candy Lady remains a mystery, but her dark tale continues to send chills down spines, making her one of Texas's creepiest urban legends. Oh my gosh, that is harrowing.
That really is. Oh my. So they released her
because of overcrowding.
And then so like she killed people, at least. We don't know if it's not confirmed that she killed children, but it's assumed that she killed children.
It's not even confirmed technically that it was ever her in the first place. But there's no record of her after her release in 1899. In 1903, it's just when people near the property started disappearing left and right.
Wow.
That... Holy... Oh.
That's creepy. Okay, so she has not only... Okay, let's say that this is her.
Yeah.
Not only has she killed... I'm just... In my head, for some reason, I'm assuming that this guy who she killed, like, with the forks in his eyes, was larger than her. Just because that's... Like, stereotypically, that's how it goes. Like, men are normally, like in stature, a little bit larger than women. So she was able to overpower him and stab him in the eyes with forks. Not only is she physically capable of doing that, but she also has a history of using poison, like poisoning her candies. So even if you're not worried about her being able to physically overpower you, if you just take candy from a sweet-looking lady, and she seems all sweet, when you eat that, you're still dead because it's poison.
Now you're like, what's going on with me? And then she's attacking you and stabbing forks in your eyes.
Yeah.
And pulling your teeth out.
See, that's actually terrifying.
It is. This is the scariest one so far. And I got to go ahead and just throw myself as a D.
I actually agree with that. I'm absolutely
this feels
with you.
This feels the least survivable of all of them so far.
Yeah, because like everything else, like we've had wild animals, like the vampire cat. We have the Rougarou, who is also in D tier. So the vampire cat's in C tier. The Rougarou is in D tier because supernatural being, and I mean that you can still technically avoid as long as you are
not Catholic and are not Cajun.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other one is the one where it makes like beautiful women go like
Mercritus.
Mercritus. Yes, Mercritus. That's right. This woman is more terrifying than both of those to me.
Agreed. 100% agreed. I got it.
She's going in.
She is top. She is top of D tier.
Yes.
Top of D tier. Nothing compares. Nothing compares. Yes. The Candy Lady. Wow. Texas, that was larger than life, Texas.
That's worse than Florida. I didn't think it was possible, but you guys beat Florida. Good job. Golf clap for you.
Oh, man. Okay. So we are on the last two now. We only have 2 left. Feels kind of sad, honestly. I've been having so much fun.
I know. We definitely have to do more of these.
For sure.
I have one quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me one moment?
Mm-hmm.
I just need to step away for just like less than a minute.
Cool beans. You're good.
Okay, thank you. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. So how we doing out there, everyone? Are you guys having a good time? What do you guys think so far? What do you guys think is the scariest urban legend that we've talked about so far? Because I gotta say, I am partial to the Candy Lady is probably the scariest one. The Candy Lady, yeah. I thought so too. The boo hag explains my health problems, so maybe maybe I'll tell my primary care provider about the boo hag. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you got to. Sometimes the boo hag is just right there on your chest. I hope you're doing good, Bricks. I hope you're doing, I hope you're well.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
That's all good. All good. All right.
I'm so excited about this. This is great.
I'm so happy that you like it. I knew you would. But it's been even more fun than I thought it was gonna be. So I'm really fucking excited for the next one.
Yeah. See, I love stories and I love creatures.
Mm-hmm.
So like the fact that this is both, and like also like it's not just the fact that it's creatures and stories, but it's the fact that it's like both of us doing this. Like this is so much fun, and the tier list almost makes it like a game. So it's like everything I love, just all like wrapped up into one.
Yeah. Okay. So, right before we start, let me read this. So, Skinned Tony or whatever his name was is freaky, but I'd never see him. Candy Lady and Rougarou, though I also love that one, are scariest to me.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Candy
Lady is easily the scariest one to me. It's not even close.
It's so real. Like it's so like it doesn't have to be some supernatural thing. The fact that this was a real person and there are people like this out there. So this is something that could realistically happen to you. That's terrifying.
Yes. Blue, thank you so much for the raid.
Hi, Blue.
We are in the middle of recording. We're about to get back to it. We had to stop briefly, so I went ahead and talked to chat a little bit. But thank you so much for the raid. That really means a lot. Okay,
hey,
back to it.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. We're glad to see you.
Yes.
All right. Are you ready? All right.
I'm so ready. My body's
ready. You ready for Virginia?
I think so.
So Virginia is the Bunny Man.
The Bunny Man.
Yes.
Okay,
now this is a good one. It's another good one. So on Halloween many years ago, a bus of transferring asylum inmates crashed, with one of the inmates escaping. For years, skinned, half-eaten rabbits were found hanging from the trees near the Bunny Bridge. Ooh. Even after the supposed culprit died, eventually he allegedly attacked humans too. Bodies strung up over the bridge. Let me see. So let's see. Most of the stories occur around Colchester Overpass, a Southern Railway overpass spanning Colchester Road near Clifton, Virginia, sometimes referred to as Bunnyman Bridge. Versions of the legend vary in the Bunnyman's name, motives, weapons, victims, descriptions of the bunny costume or lack thereof. And sometimes, yeah, so he's in a bunny costume. So,
oh my, that's horrifying. That's just FNAF.
yeah. So even sometimes his possible death. In some accounts, the victims' bodies are mutilated, and in some variations, the bunny man's ghost or aging specter is said to come out of his place of death each year on Halloween to commemorate his death.
Oh.
So the origin of this urban legend, at the Fairfax County Public Library, historian archivist Brian A. Conley extensively researched the Bunnyman legend. He has located 2 incidents of a man in a rabbit costume threatening people with an axe. The vandalism reports occurred 10 days apart in 1970 in Burke, Virginia. So yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. There's a lot of it's basically just starts going over incidents of people seeing the Bunny Man, and it's actually stated that the film Donnie Darko was based in part upon this. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Huh. Okay, so this guy, so it started off creepy enough with him just eating half of rabbits. It sounds like it was raw too. Mm-hmm. In my head, I'm like, it's fucking raw.
Yeah.
And then not only he was hanging them over like in a bridge too. That's weird. That's creepy. But eventually I guess he got a taste for the long pig, which that's human. That's human. Apparently, actually, I recently learned this. The reason it's called long pig is because of the flavor. But yeah, so
all right then.
I don't know I don't remember how I learned that, but I did the other day.
Yeah.
So he started eating people, killing people, and then hanging them
on the bridge. Yeah.
Ooh.
So
costume.
So I'll tell you this. So the second reported sighting occurred on the evening of October 29th, 1970, when construction security guard Paul Phillips approached a man standing on the porch of an unfinished home in Kings Park West on Guinea Road. Phillips said the man was wearing a gray, black, and white bunny costume and was probably around 20 years old, 5'8", and probably weighed around 175 pounds. The man began chopping at a porch post with a long-handled axe, saying, "You're trespassing. If you come any closer, I'll chop your head off."
Oh.
Yikes. And then there was more than 50 people contacting the police claiming to have seen a bunny man. There are several newspaper clippings, like articles talking about man in bunny suit sought in Fairfax. The rabbit reappears. Bunny man seen. Bunny man strikes again. Bunny reports are multiplying. That one's funny.
Bunny reports are multiplying. Amazing headline.
That is a fantastic writer. I would shake that man's hand or that woman's hand.
You should title your next
I'll shake
stream
that person's hand. Bunny reports are multiplying.
I got bunnies. You're multiplying.
Oh,
that's funny.
So basically, we got a case of Donnie Darko. We got a case of, you know, basically just man, cannibal, crazy person, escaped asylum patient type thing going on. I'm gonna say B tier. Actually, as funny as Bunny Man is for B tier, that's just a guy in a bunny suit. You could put down a guy in a bunny suit.
Yeah, he seems okay. So I think the main thing that I agree with you for B tier. The thing that makes me think like that really separates him from the Candy Lady is she was calculated.
Hmm.
Uh, she knows what she can and can't do and how to compensate for the things she can't do.
Agreed.
This guy is just crazy.
Yeah.
This guy
And
is
it is
crazy.
hard.
He's not calculated.
No, it is hard to beat crazy. It's really like, honestly, it's a wild card. You don't know if a
Yeah.
crazy person is going to be completely harmless because they don't understand reality, or if they're going to be extremely dangerous. It's hit or miss. So
Exactly.
yeah.
And just the way that this guy seems like he was on an unfinished portion just hacking at stuff. That doesn't seem grounded in reality to me.
No, you probably right. Oh, we're on the last one. No.
But just okay, think about it this way. While it is sad that we're on the last one, that just means that we think of all the next ones that we're gonna get.
I'm so excited.
The next coffee lounge.
I'm so
I
excited
too. This is really cool.
Okay, here we go. This last one, we're gonna take ourselves a little bit over to West Virginia.
Okay.
Now, while the Mothman is most of the time the thing that you see in West Virginia, it's not the scariest thing that you're gonna see in West Virginia. So another urban legend that has been considered much scarier in West Virginia's lore are they're called the White Things. Okay, the White Things. Yes.
Me.
The White Things of West Virginia. Okay. Let me pull this up here. So, while Mothman might be more popular mystery, rural West Virginia is also home to the mysterious dog-like creatures the size of a lion with white shaggy fur called the White Things.
Ooh.
In the mysterious and rugged woods of West Virginia, exists chilling legends surrounding the enigmatic White Things. These eerie creatures have been spotted and described throughout West Virginia's lore, from ancient Native American legends to modern times. Okay, so these things have been around for a long time. We're talking about ancient Native American legends.
I love Native American legends. They're amazing.
They're so good. They're so good.
Not only are they so rich in history, but they're rich in
in
the legends
lore
themselves.
Like the storytelling is unprecedented.
Yeah.
Native American legends are amazing to listen to. So number one, the sheep squatch, also known as the white.
Squatch?
Yeah. So these are, I guess these are like variations, different variations of White Things. Okay. So the sheep squatch is the first White Thing. Sheep squatch is one of the most infamous West Virginia cryptids. Its appearance varies, with some accounts describing it as having canine features. Others claim it resembles a humanoid creature. What remains consistent, though, is its long, shaggy white hair and large fangs. Sheep squatch is said to emit blood-curdling screams and inhabit dark, isolated woods and cemeteries. It's considered an omen of death, and encounters with it are both terrifying and inexplicable. Oof.
All right then.
Okay. You know what? This one is kind of broken down, so I'm gonna go ahead and say we should rate each one of the White Things. There's three different. It looks like three different things.
Okay.
So what do you think of the sheep squatch?
Okay, so this thing has fangs,
Yes.
but it's pretty much just a wild animal, right?
Seems
That's what it
that
sounds
way.
like?
But the part that is really scary about it is that it's saying that it's considered an omen of death to encounter it. Just to encounter it. and that it's extremely terrifying and inexplicable. Like, you can't even explain how scary it is to even be around it.
Gotcha.
That's tough. But I do agree with you. It's, as far as I can see, it doesn't look supernatural in any way.
So
what do you
if
think?
it's an omen of death, that doesn't mean it's the thing that's killing you, right? I mean, obviously it has fangs. And it's terrifying to be around.
It emits blood-curdling screams.
I would probably put this at a B tier. And the reason for that is I think it's, I don't know. I
might actually even go as far as to say it might possibly be A tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it's just a canine animal, essentially, I mean,
with sharp teeth.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay. No, I'm willing to put that in A tier, because it is an omen of death. It's terrifying and it screams.
But it doesn't
But
say anything
I've been
about
around
it.
children who also scream, and children make me think that they're an omen of death. So I've survived children. I think I can survive this thing also. So I'm willing to put that in A tier.
I actually agree. I want to get a little bit information more on the next white thing.
Okay.
Okay. So okay, I'm sorry. I was getting it pulled up here on a different thing.
Oh, no, you're good.
So, oh my god.
Is this worse?
I don't know. Okay, so number 2, the other white thing that you see is equally unsettling to the sheep squatch. They share similar characteristics, like the white fur and the fangs, and a penchant for brutal attacks.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Cool.
They are called devil dogs.
Devil dogs.
Devil dogs. Okay. And strangely, despite their ferocity, they leave no visible marks on their victims. Let me see what this other one says.
Brutal attacks, but no visible wounds that's left on their victims. Interesting. They attack the soul. They emotionally attack you. They tell you how you'll never measure up.
they hurt you in other ways.
Like hashtag not all wounds are the ones are visible.
No, stop it. I'm trying to find something. I'm trying to find something here. Oh my gosh, you.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's see here. They appear in various shapes, impossibly large dog, all the way up to like lion-sized. White things are described as resembling wolves, bears, cows, and even huge badgers. Their chilling screams sound like a woman being murdered. Whatever they are bloodthirsty and attack without provocation. The attacks are so real that people actually feel the beast's fangs tearing into their flesh, but when the attack is over, they are so shocked to find out that they don't even have a mark on their body. However, the beasts rip up animals in the fashion of a werewolf, tearing out their throats and mutilating their bodies and leaving the corpses bloodless and without a trace of blood around. Like all mysterious creatures, there are variations in this description of white things, and some of them, let's see, are said to have red eyes and long, sharp claws and are able to walk and run upright. They are also called white devils. Some of these beasts have a connection to cemeteries, not an aversion, and thus are death omen creatures. Okay, so that's kind of the same thing they were saying.
Gotcha. So they are also death omen creatures, but they are aggressive and they will attack you, but they don't leave
They don't leave any physical marks on their victims. And as a matter of fact, when they attack animals, they take all of their blood, but there's no trace of the blood leaving.
Weird.
The body? That's tough.
I feel like this thing could definitely kill.
I also agree.
If it can kill wild animals, it can kill a person too. We're just animals who make funny noises and know how to cook.
Yeah. Assuming this is a true you know, like we were saying, for the rating, we assume that the story is true. Yes. I don't see us surviving devil dogs.
I don't either.
Like how are you supposed to? None of the articles that I just read say anything about how to drive a devil dog off or how to escape.
Yeah, and it's a death omen.
Yeah,
and they can. There's a lot of variations in size. Some as big as a lion.
Yeah.
You know how fast that thing must be able to run? You ain't getting away from it. That thing can climb trees.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I'm putting devil dogs at a D tier. Yeah, we're definitely dead.
Do you think it's below Candy Lady?
Yes, I actually do.
She still scares me.
She is. Yeah, no, Candy Lady is top dog in this.
I think so too. Like, see, she's human, but she can drive, so she's not. She's not restricted to just West Virginia. She can travel.
Yeah, she'll just run you. She'll just run you over and break your legs, and then force feed you some. Pockets. Yeah, force feed you some candy, and then stab you in the eyes with a fork.
Yep, and then take your teeth.
Sheesh.
No, she still scares me. She's definitely the most threatening one so far. In
Absolutely.
My opinion.
So I will say the origins of the white things are shrouded in mystery. Are they spirits, extraterrestrial beings, or mere figments of imagination? No one knows for sure. The tales persist, though, and they've been passed down from generation to generation. And they weave a chilling tapestry of West Virginia folklore. That one is... It was good. I like those.
I like the way that was worded at the end. They weave a chilling tapestry. That's very. I really like that.
Very well written.
That really stuck out to me. Yeah.
Like, very well written. I like that.
It. Keep saying words to me.
Say words, magic man. Yes.
All right. Did you say there was a third one also? Like a third white thing?
I thought there was. It was just two of them. It was just two of them. So what do you think of the list?
I love that. And that's just you said that's the Southeastern?
That's just the Southern US. That's just the Southeastern portion of the United States. We still have a long way to go.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. One place that I'm excited to hear about some urban legends is Massachusetts.
Oh yeah, it's on here. I like, cause I have the list right here, and I've already seen, what everything is.
Yeah.
And let me see which one Massachusetts is. I think I remember which one it was. Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, you're not gonna like that one.
Is that for next stream?
That's for next stream. We'll do the Northeast for next stream.
Gotcha. Okay, so real quick, I do want to send you this tier list.
Please do.
Let's see. Yeah, because Massachusetts has this little. It's a little known town. You may not have heard of it. Salem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. let's see here. I'm going to download this, and if you would like to share it with chat.
Oh yeah, I certainly will.
Who am I? Who am I to
deny them such
privilege?
Okay. Well,
there you go.
We will go ahead and show that. But as of right now, I think this is a good place to stop the recording. Yeah. Anybody who's listening on Spotify, if you liked this, hey, please go ahead and give us a like on Spotify. Give us a follow. It's free, baby. And you know what? It helps out the channel a lot. And we would really appreciate that. And if you could share it, that would be even better. I mean, we can't get enough of doing this. It's so much fun, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So we'd like to have more people in on the fun. So yeah, there's that.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely. And if podcasts aren't normally your things, but these creepy kind of urban legend stories are, well, guess what? There's more coming, and Salem is in the next one. So
yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, if you want to catch these live, once again, you can always catch these live on twitch.tv/Foggy LeBeau. Be sure to go follow my main man Morgan on all that their social media. Morgan_Coffee Bean, Morgan_Bean Bean on Zitter, Twitter, X. And you can follow me on all that their social media at Foggy LeBeau. Anywhere that you can find Foggy LeBeau, that's where you'll find me.
Foggy LeBeau.
You can follow us on Spotify, the podcast Morgan and Foggy in the Coffee Lounge, and we hope to see you guys in the next one.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.